Hello YouTube and welcome to Theater Talk. So it's been a hot minute since I've made one of these videos, but theater is starting to come back, which is very exciting. A big thing that is helping to re-usher in theater into the post-pandemic world is movie musicals, and I'm so excited about it because it's just something I've missed so much. Movie musicals are just fantastic. And the newest one that has just come out is In the Heights. I watched it last night with Sean and I had some thoughts about it. I really enjoyed it, so I thought I would talk about it here on my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday with other videos throughout the week. If you like what you see, like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at tss6295. Now let's get into the video. So before starting anything, spoiler warning for this because I might be talking about some specific things in regards to storylines and things like that, but I do recommend that you go watch this movie. It is absolutely fantastic. I think that In the Heights is one of the best movie musicals that I have seen in a very long time. It really reminded me of the early 2000s era of movie musicals where Chicago, Rent, Hairspray, where they were using a lot of musical theater, professional musical theater actors in these shows and really bringing that caliber of art to movie musicals. Not to say that movie musicals since then haven't been up to the same caliber, but it has been different, and you can really tell the difference between Hairspray, Rent, and Chicago versus Into the Woods and The Prom in a sense, and In the Heights. You can tell there's a real difference between them. I think In the Heights really brings back that kind of idea of using people who are professional musical theater performers, who are singers, know the show very well, have done the show before, that they understand the material and they know how to present it in a very specific way that it makes you really feel like you're back at the theater. And I think a big part of this is the sound mixing. That was the biggest part for me of In the Heights that made me really interested in wanting to watch it, because before I watched the movie in full, I did watch the first 8 minutes of it on YouTube because they did release it beforehand, and that was what got me excited about it, because in those first 8 minutes of it, it's just the opening number of In the Heights. You can understand every single word that is said. The sound mixing is great. You can hear every single harmony. It just sounds like you're in a Broadway theater. And that's what Chicago, Rent, and Hairspray all sound like on their soundtracks. It sounds like you're watching the show professionally, like live in person. It doesn't feel like you're watching it on a screen. And it's exactly what In the Heights felt like. This kind of sound mixing is also extremely effective for In the Heights because there is so much fast rapping. I could fully understand every single word that was said. I watch movies a lot of the times with subtitles, my personal preference, but within the Heights, I didn't feel like I needed it. Anthony Ramos as Usnavi, I think, is pitch perfect casting. You can tell that he's really in the groove of the character as well as in the groove of the music, because like I said before, you can understand everything that he says, but he has a really great understanding of who this character is and what their struggles are, as well as how they relate to everybody in the community of Washington Heights. Corey Hawkins, who plays Benny, I think is absolutely incredible. I've never seen him in anything else, but his voice, wow. Absolutely amazing. I thought he sounded so much like Christopher Jackson, who originated the role of Benny on Broadway, but I was honestly obsessed from the first line that he said in the opening number. I was like, he sounds so good, and then it just got better and better with every other number in the show. Nina, who's played by Leslie Grace, I really loved her characterization with this character. They did make some changes for her character in the movie, and I think that she played them really well, showing a lot of the microaggressions that she dealt with when she was at school and coming back home to Washington Heights and understanding what she needed to do to change her trajectory in her life and what she wanted to do. I thought she had some great characterizations in that as well. Fantastic singing voice. Melissa Barrera, who played Vanessa, I really liked her characterizations for the character of Vanessa. I thought that she dealt with the emotional shifts that her character goes through really well. She understood what her character's motives and trajectory was throughout the entire show and shifted with how her emotion changed, how her feelings towards Usnavi changed, how she dealt with everything that happened. I really love that they had Daphne Rubin Vega playing Daniela. I thought she sounded vocally incredible in this. I really only know her from the soundtrack of the original cast of Rent, and I thought she was just absolutely amazing in this. It felt very natural for her. It didn't feel like she was putting on a character or a voice or anything. It literally felt like this is who she is as a person outside of playing the character. I really enjoyed Lin-Manuel Miranda playing the Piragua guy. I was honestly surprised with how amazing he sounded vocally. I was like, this is really great sound mixing, because Lin-Manuel Miranda's a great singer, but sometimes there's a bit of a jagged edge to his voice. But with this, some of the high notes that he was singing, I was like, I've never heard him sing like this before, and I'm just really impressed. It also just felt like with Daphne Rubin Vega very natural, like he was just playing a different version of himself. So I feel like that's that's what really brought that kind of sense to his voice and how he sounded. I just really enjoyed him. He had a lot of fun with the part, and it was fun to see him as a little Easter egg in the show, as well as Christopher Jackson. Getting the two of them back together for In the Heights, I thought was really, really fun little Easter egg in it. And Olga Maradi is Abuela. She is the original Abuela from the original cast of In the Heights. Just amazing. Vocally incredible. Storytelling amazing. I just loved her so much, and it just felt like she was everybody's Abuela in the community. I just really loved that sense of her character, that it all felt like everybody knew who each other was for years. It didn't feel like, oh, these people just know each other from doing this movie or are just working together. It literally felt like a family on screen. And I really love that about it, especially with Olga Maradi's character. I feel like she really helped to bring that sense of community fully together. I loved all the little Easter eggs throughout the entire movie, like Lin-Manuel Miranda's parents popping up for a hot second, the little bit of "you'll be back" as a phone ringing hold line, just a nice little nod to Hamilton, Christopher Jackson being the Mr. Softy guy. I thought that was a really cute way to bring the whole world of Lin-Manuel Miranda's cinematic universe together. Lin-Manuel Miranda likes to bring a lot of people in his life together that have worked on shows with him before into his work, and I felt like that was a really great way to do it. It didn't feel out of place at all. It felt like everybody matched. It didn't feel kind of random, like, oh, here's a random cameo from somebody who's worked on a Lin-Manuel Miranda show. It like all fit together, and I really enjoyed that. The songs Blackout and Paciencia y Fe have to be my absolute favorite numbers from the movie. I really cannot get over how beautiful Paciencia y Fe was. Visually, storytelling wise, oh my God, it is just so amazing. As I was realizing what was happening, because I know the story of In the Heights from before watching the movie, but as I was realizing that this was the moment of Abuela passing away, I just started bawling my eyes out, because it was just so good and so beautiful, and just oh my God, I just can't think of better words to say it than it was just perfect, honestly. And Blackout as well, something about that vocally with the harmonies and the music were just blowing my mind, and I just really, really loved it. Personally, for me, I felt like Blackout and Paciencia y Fe really reminded me of Angel's death scene in Rent, and I thought that was a very interesting kind of way to view that scene in the movie. I've also read a lot of articles about how Lin-Manuel Miranda was really inspired by Jonathan Larson's work, so it makes a lot of sense. You can see a lot of those little kind of influences in there. I saw In the Heights on Broadway when I was like 12 or 13, when Corbin Bleu was playing Usnavi, and that was when I was like really into Rent, but I definitely would not have picked up on any of those kind of influences. But now, after doing a lot more research, learning a lot more about In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Jonathan Larson, all that kind of thing, and also growing up as well, I feel like I definitely was able to see those influences a lot more, and I feel like that really enhanced the experience of watching it and really made those numbers stand out for me in the movie as the best ones in the entire thing. Musically, this show is just amazing. The harmonies are just so tight and clean and amazing. I really can't think of other words of how to say it. The sound felt so full because of however they did the orchestrations, however they did the sound mixing, however they did the recording of the entire ensemble along with the leads. I just am obsessed. It was just so good. Visually, I thought this movie was stunning. I love that they added in some little graphics to the movie in 96,000. There's some little bits and pieces that they were doing with their hands I thought was really interesting. And then in Vanessa's number, when she's running down the street with these big curtains flying down, and then Benny and Nina when they're running up the side of a building, it just added a lot of magical realism to the movie that I didn't expect to enjoy, but I loved. I thought it was such an interesting way to bring that, sense of magic to the show that I think is there, but is never really has never really been fully explored. I think it was a really great way to bring that sense of magic to the story of In the Heights. I thought the dancing in this movie was absolutely incredible. Christopher Scott is the choreographer for this movie, and he has truly outdone himself with this. I've seen some of his dancing on So You Think You Can Dance and online, and I'm always just amazed by it, but I thought this was like peak best choreography from him that I've ever seen. I love what he can do with hip-hop styles and bringing in the Latin flavor to that, because I've seen that in some of his other work, but I really love how he brought ballet, jazz, and tap into the world of In the Heights, because that's not something you would expect. A lot of productions of In the Heights do a lot more street jazz or hip-hop styles, but this brought in tap, ballet, and jazz so well. It didn't feel out of place. It felt like all of these people were dancing from their souls, and it felt like it worked. It really meshed very well, having all of these different styles, because it also shows the different styles of the people living in Washington Heights. I just thought it was so well done, and it really helped to tell the story even more through dance. The ensemble of dancers in this movie, there's so many of them. They're so good. They're just so good. I just can't get over the speed of the choreography as well. It's just amazing to watch these dancers just attack it with so much force, but like passion as well. I loved it. I love the dancing of it. I think the editing of this movie is absolutely perfect. Something that I'm a big fan of in editing is when you can edit to sound, and I think this movie does this very well. There's a couple of different ways I'm going to explain how this is, because that sounds a little bit weird. In the opening number of In the Heights, they really use the sounds of the city to be the beats of the opening of the music of da, 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 da. Dun, dun. A lot of that sound is provided by the sounds of the city, the sounds of people cleaning their cars, the sounds of Usnavi opening up the shop, of different things on the street. I just really love that much thought was put into bringing the life of Washington Heights into the music, and I think that really worked in editing. I thought it was just a really great way to make the whole story feel very real. I also really love this in the salon number when there's 5 girls making the beats of the music with their acrylic nails. I just thought that was such a really cute detail that also worked so well. It's a really fun way to bring music and editing together into a movie musical in particular, and I thought it was so well done. And the big dance numbers in the Heights and 96,000, just amazing. I can't get over how good they were. Filming wise, they were absolutely amazing. Dancing wise, absolutely amazing. Just so good. Overall, this was just an amazing movie. Honestly, I really had such a good time watching it, and when me and Sean finished watching it, I was like, this is one of the best movie musicals I've ever seen. And yeah, I loved it. I thought the message of it was so powerful. I thought that visually it was so powerful, musically so powerful. Just the entire thing was a great time and a really great movie. So those are my thoughts on In the Heights. I watched it on HBO Max, and I thought it was great to watch at home. If you can't go watch it in a movie theater, go watch it in a movie theater. Let me know in the comments if you've watched In the Heights, and let me know what you thought about it. Let's have a discussion about In the Heights in the comments. And if there's anything else you'd like to see here on my page, let me know about that in the comments down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.